Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Progetto M36. It's the Tier 8 Italian auto-reloading medium tank, premium. It's located on the south spawn of El Halluf and it's under the command of Nino03. Well, he's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his gun, and I think you may have just seen the crazy platypus who still in his FV4202. Yes, I made a terrible mistake. I thought that the crazy platypus was a lady. No, it's a guy. So I feel really embarrassed right now, but he said it's not a problem. He was happy to have his replays done. Okay, the Progetto's got a 90mm gun with an auto reloader, which means it takes varying times to reload depending on how many shells are actually in the breech, or not in the breech, but actually ready to shoot. 3 shots auto loader, or auto reloader I should say. No, failed in his first one, go for the second one. No, it's a little too early. That third one looked as if it was on target, but it didn't connect. It's 240 alpha. And well, the first one normally takes 10.35 to reload, second one normally 7.77, and the third one 6.9. I think you can see them going down. Well, that one didn't penetrate the SU-101, and there's a number of enemy tanks up on the heights over the other side of the battlefield. Now, he's got 1 shell back in, but it helps to actually only fire 2 at a time and then let it reload, and only fire the third one if you absolutely need to. Okay, there's a nice target. First one in. Oh, that one zipped past the back of the turret, but he does get the third one in, and the GSOR on our team's now going to have a go, I think. Nope, didn't get a chance. He's probably in reload, actually. That might be the reason why he's not shooting at the moment. Well, the Progetto is a fake tank, actually, because it never actually existed. People were saying it was a draft design for the Italian version of the European tank, but it wasn't, actually. They say it was a draft design request by Generalissimo Francisco Rossi. But if you believe that, you'll believe anything. No, we don't know exactly if they... I mean, it's certainly never produced. No prototypes, anything like that. It's a very good tank, though. It's very, very popular because there are an awful lot of pools medals won by this tank and other medals as well. Well, he got 2 of those shots in. But now, of course, he's got a much longer reload. So I think he's going to go by these rocks and play a defensive role. The crazy platypus is still in the game, but he's actually down in the valley a little, just behind the rock. So it looks like this one's going to be a very defensive, because so few players actually went up to the northwest corner, and those that did died anyway. Well, he fires one in at 7032, gets the second one in as well, and he's still got 1 in the breach, which means that he is maximising his reload now. In fact, I think you maximise your reload if you only fire 1 shell, wait for it to pop back in, and then fire another one. But 2 if you've got the chance. And well, he got all 3 there. That 7032 is taking a pounding. In fact, even the crazy platypus got a round in on him. Oh, the Indian Panzer, his turret just flew off. That's a nice little pop. Okay, wait for the third one. He actually decided to go after just the 1. So 2 rounds into the Emil 1. And he's out the game because he was taken out in the end by our Ferdinand. He's having a good game from this position. We're neglecting the enemy tanks over the other side of the valley, but our EBR's gone over that side, so I think he's going to be harassing them. And Nino's decided that he's probably better off actually moving right to the back here. Oh, we just lost the Ferdinand. Okay, so this is getting very dicey because some of the enemy tanks over the other side of the battlefield have now come over this side. And we're 5 tanks down on the enemy, so this is looking to be a... well, it looks like it's going to be a loss. It's going to have to take something extraordinary if we're going to turn this one around. Well, he's got all 3 rounds ready to go. We've got a Patriot and a Super Pershing down there. And nice. Okay, take this guy out. And good night. And that's his first kill. Unfortunately, the crazy platypus did die a little while back whilst we were focusing on the enemy tanks. But the good news is that Nino's got a lot of damage, and he's just taken a hit from an 85mm round from that LT432. And as that guy's a one-shot, he's actually focusing on getting him out the game. But he's changed his mind because the guy's gone down the side of the cliff. Gonna get shot for this. No. The turrets on Patriots are very, very tough to kill. Very tough to penetrate. There's the LT432 just below us. Okay, pull back. The Super Pershing's getting shots on us. Hello. That's one. Oh, missed the second one. And the third. Oh. Now that was expensive because he not only took a round from the Super Pershing, but he also took 2 rounds from the LT432, and he's down to half health, but he gets revenge, and now he's got 20% of the enemy hit pool, which means he might have a high caliber. So even if he loses the game, he still might be quids in. There's 6 enemy tanks still alive, and only 2 left on his team, and the other one is the EBR, and here comes that SU-101, the one he hit earlier. Get behind him. Okay, he's tracked him again. Get behind him because he's a tank destroyer with only his gun at the other end, so he can't turn his turret round. And there's the kill. Beautiful. Right through the weak armor into the crew compartment, and he's dead. Yes, whenever you immobilize something like that, you quickly try to get behind them. They cure their tracks, and he managed to get a second tracking very, very quickly. Very well done. Uh-oh. Now that Super Pershing pulled back very quickly, and he's now taking fire from our EBR, and that's why he suddenly pulled back. And okay, GSOR's trying to come in, and that's a kill. And the Super Pershing just died to the EBR, so it's now 2 versus 3. My gun, we've managed to cut them down. 2 of the kills went to Nino, and 1 to the EBR. He took the Super Pershing. Well, they could actually win this. The other 3 enemy are the I-6B, a Lorraine 40 ton, and a Ferdinand. Well, the Ferdinand's fairly slow, so's the I-6B. The Lorraine 40 ton is probably going to be the problem one. Now, the Ferdinand and the Lorraine were last seen over the other side of the battlefield in the sniping position up on the heights. The IS-6B came round the northwest corner of the map, and I think he's still down there. Pulling up like this is likely to expose us, but well, we need to see if the Sixth Sense goes off, and just if he can see us. No, I don't think he can. I don't think he can see us at all. The EBR's taken up position behind the flat, and there's the Lorraine. Okay, well, he's behind those bushes, so he might be able to get rounds on the Lorraine, but I think we can take him out of the game if we can get a clean shot. Okay, try and get it. There he is. Nice! Good, go for it again. And again. And he gets the kill. That's 5. Excellent. You can see some of the rounds bounced off the rear of his turret there. It's very well rounded. The I-6B is still down there. It's just he wasn't really playing the game. I'm not sure if he's as good as his teammates. We can see that he does have 2 kills, but you have to wonder why he didn't move up with the Lorraine 40 ton. Okay, use the wreck of that LT432 to cover you from that IS-6. There he is. behind the rock. Didn't get the EBR. Trouble is, the EBR hasn't got much in the way of hit points left. Remember, that guy's got a 122mm gun with about 390 alpha. But if you can pump 3 rounds into his rear, oh, it's going to be difficult getting through that pass. There's a GSOR stuck in the middle of that pass. He's trying to come round the other way, so this side he should be pointing the other direction. He is. He's pointing the wrong way. There's 2. Go for the kill. Yes! That's the Top Gun. And now it's 2 versus 1. They've got a very real chance of winning this. Quite a turnaround. Well, he can't platoon to get a Brothers in Arms, because even though the EBR 75 FL10 has 3 kills, Nino03 platooned with the Crazy Platypus, and unfortunately he did get killed before he could get any kills in this game. But I think they've got a very real chance of taking out the Ferdinand. The only problem is the Ferdinand is quite a difficult tank to kill. It's got very heavy armour at the front. It's based on the hull of the Tiger Porsche. And I think they first used them at Kursk, the Battle of Kursk. The idea was to have as much armour between you and the enemy, and that's why they had those thick front plates. The armour's not so strong at the rear, but it's very difficult getting behind a Ferdinand. The FL-10's managed to get up onto the enemy plane, and he's found the Ferdinand. Okay, pull back, because that guy, from that position, it's really difficult to get pen. But the EBR can probably get a pen in his rear. That's it. Turn and go round the other way. Let the Ferdinand chase you, and the EBR can surprise him, come up behind him. Okay, he is chasing. And the EBR's coming up behind him. And there he is. And at this moment, I'm not sure. Yes, he has got a hit. Okay, now turn around. When he gets 1, 2, he is shooting the rear. And he gets the kill shot that wins the game. And that is victory against the odds. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Nino03 in the Progetto 46. Incredible game. Looked like it was definitely going to go to the enemy, but they managed to turn it around, kill all the enemy off, and win, despite the odds, as I said. He got a duelist for taking down 2 enemy tanks who damaged him. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. He got a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 19 in this battle. That's almost as many as Arty players tend to get. On top of that, he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he was 1 short of getting a Radley Walters, and he also got a tank sniper because he did the most damage at a distance of 300 meters, at least 8 shots with 85% accuracy. And look at that win rate, 14,152 super unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, top of the table on damage, 6,569. The next highest scorer in the game actually turned out to be that LT432, 2,581. He was a bit of a nuisance because he got 3 shots into Nino. And yes, that was quite deadly. The next highest scorer in the game actually turned out to be their GSOR 1008, who got 2,497. He did slam around into Nino as he was coming up behind, but Nino was able to use all 3 shots in his autoloader to take down that GSOR. When it came to kills, it was Nino again. He managed to get the highest with 7. 3 kills went to the EBR 75, so thanks very much for staying alive. He got a scout medal in that game as well for spotting at least 9 enemy vehicles and surviving the battle. Well, you don't have to survive the battle to get the scout, but it's certainly helpful. And the next highest score after that was the Super Pershing, the I-6B and the Ferdinand on the enemy team, all with 2 kills each. When it came to base XP, 2016, an incredibly high base score for Nino. 1067 for the EBR75, and the next highest one after that was the P44 Pantera with 812. We should mention the Crazy Platypus. He was the platoon mate of Nino03. He managed to get 1,134 hit points, so he did do a fair amount of damage. Unfortunately, he didn't get any kills for that, but he did get 608 XP before he was taken out. The enemy tended to finish off anyone who was actually along the cliff edge as they were moving up towards our cap area. Anyway, let's have a look at detail. 43 shots fired in this game. He actually only had 45 shots in his ammo capacity, but he managed to fire 43 of them, so he had 2 shots left at the end of the game. 38 direct hits on the enemy, 31 penetrations, damage of 6,569 hit points, of which 3,767 were at more than 300 meters. So more than half of his damage was done at long range. 8 enemy hits received, 6 of them penetrations, 2 non-penetrations, 420 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 7 killed, 812 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 169,869 credits from the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables took away 81,203 credits. 3,024 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 302 for this being a premium vehicle, and 6,350 experience points altogether. Let's do our little feature that we've been doing, because we haven't actually shown the inside of a vehicle or the armor layouts of these vehicles for a while. So let's have a look at the Progetto now and see what it looks like on the armor. Well, this is from Tanks GG. I think you might know this design. This is the Progetto. It's fairly thin armour at the front. If you actually look at them head on, you can see that although it's well angled, it's got an 86mm there, 96 on the lower plate. So the lower plate is actually stronger than the upper plate. So you're actually better off shooting on the upper plate than you are on the lower one on this one. Everywhere else is fairly light on armour. There's the cupola. That's very weak in terms of being able to take it out. But best of all, if you hit the sides of this vehicle, because it's very thin indeed, 30mm, so just about any shot's going to go through the sides or the rear, so well worth thinking about that if you can. But also, you could actually, if you can, get a shot in through the turret, because some parts of the turret are fairly thin. Anyway, let's have a look at the module layout, because I know you like that this as well. Okay, this is the modules. The driver's up front and there's an ammo rack right next door to him. So if you can put a round in through the front, then great. But the thing is that it's actually in the stronger lower plate area. So if you can fire in through the lower plate, you might actually set the ammo rack off. But there is another ammo rack. In fact, there's 2 ammo racks actually. The other ammo rack is on the left-hand side of the vehicle, and it's directly underneath where you would call the center of the turret. That's the store, but there's a ready rack at the back of the turret in the bustle, so that's another place to consider. You've got a loader next to that ammo rack, and the gunner is actually directly in front of him. So if you do aim through the front of the turret, and you can punch through that mantlet, and you can punch, it's fairly thin, or thinnish. It's not as thick as all that. You might be able to take out not just the gunner, but the loader and the ammo rack in the process. The TC, he's actually on the other side, and of course he's got his head in the cupola. He's slightly higher than the others, and yet again, he's got the radio next to him, and of course the ammo rack behind him. So again, if you punch through the left-hand side of the turret as you're looking at it, you might take out the commander and the ammo rack in the process. At the back, well, we've got the engine in the centre, fuel tanks either side, transmission directly at the back, as you'd expect. So that's the placement of the modules. Yeah, the best place to actually shoot this is either the upper, if you can shoot on the upper part of the plate, you might be able to hit that ammo rack or this one. So if you aim for the left-hand side of the vehicle, you stand a much better chance of setting off the ammo racks. So thanks very much indeed for the Crazy Platypus for sending in the replay, and for Nino for playing it. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.